Lafayette to everyone who's watching this, especially to the young brothers and sisters of I Ask Rites of Passage. My name's Jesse Jackson.
And I am Alana Jackson.
And we are the Jacksons. We are blessed to be able to say that we are celebrating our 50th anniversary. We did that back on July 4th. And Yaya Feeney asked us if we would put together a little presentation to talk about how we've done it. Throw a little history into this. We met back in 1975.
71.
Back in 1971, we were both freshmen. We were both just kids. We were 17, and we met at the first little sock hop that they had at the college for the freshmen. And our first meeting wasn't very special. Matter of fact, when I introduced myself to the group, somebody had to ask,
what's your name for real?
Yeah, what's your name really? And I told myself, I don't like her. We ain't gonna spend no time together. But 55 years later, here we are, and I have to say 55 happy years and blessed years. I guess you wanted us to talk about how we stayed married so long.
The main thing I learned from your mother, from my mother-in-law, is keep the lines of communication open. That was hard for me at first because I grew up being a very closed person. So over the years practicing that, I went from one extreme of not talking to the other extreme to probably talking too much. But that really does help keep the lines of communication open. I tell other people what has also worked for us is maintain respect. Treat your spouse as good as or even better than your best friend or your closest sibling. Baba has his activities he likes, a lot of sports. I like some sports. But I have my activities that he doesn't necessarily like. And then we have our activities together that we both enjoy. So I think that's probably it as far as...
Well, I think we learn, and that's one thing that I think young couples need to understand too, is that when you fall in love and get married and you're 21, 22, that you both change. Neither one of you are going to stay the same. And as you change, the relationship change. And you have to be ready to make or do the things to keep the relationship strong as you go through those changes. We like to say we were 17 when we met, 22 when we married. We had, first few years of marriage, we were just us. Then we had kids. So that changes the relationship. Then those kids grow up, and that changes the relationship. And kids go off to college. That changes the relationship. So, throughout the years of marriage, our relationship has stayed strong, but we've had to change in order to make it stay that way.
I think another thing too was learning each other's barometer of our personalities, not necessarily moods, because if you're in a particular mood, you need to express that self to your spouse. I'm not feeling, all joyous and sprite today because of whatever. Might not have anything to do with the relationship with each other, something outside the home, work and everything like that, but learn what works best in a relationship in communicating with your partner. Some people are just naturally loud and boisterous. Doesn't mean that they're upset or anything like that. Some people are, very quiet, reserved. like to sort of mull over things before they discuss it. So it's important, I think, to learn the barometer of your partner's personality.
And I would like to add that, as a career teacher and coach, a lot of things went on at school that affected me, emotionally. And when I came home, I had to leave those things sort of at the door because home was always the safe place. So no matter what happened out in the school or out in the streets or whatever, when I came home, I knew there were people there who supported me and loved me. So that was a thing that I made sure that I did, was I would leave those external going on, outside. I wouldn't bring them home and put them on my wife or my kids.
And I'm a retired social worker, so I'm a lot into people's emotions, feelings, and things like that. But as far as home, I also, knowing the situations that I dealt with at work, I want a home to be a place where my husband and children wanted to be, a place and the warmth of a home where they looked forward to being at home and looked forward to or enjoyed being at home.
Another thing is, there's a lot of people who talk about marriage being 50-50, and very seldom was it actually 50-50. There was always one of us giving more at that time than the other. So when you're in a relationship, a serious relationship, you have to understand that sometimes, one person's going to be up, the other one's going to be down, and vice versa. So that idea of 50-50 really doesn't make sense. But the two of you together make 100%. And that's the thing, is you got to make sure that you get to that level, that you're both making that 100%.
The other thing I did too that comes to my mind that really, I think, helped our relationship a lot, and with me being a mother, was I prayed to the ancestors regularly on helping me to be the mother that my children needed me to be, and helping me to be the wife that my husband needed me to be. Because I think when it all boils down, I'm still going to be the person that I want to be. I'm still going to engage in activities that I enjoy doing. I don't want to just give my total self up to my children or my husband, but the part of me that can help the home and relationship, motherhood, being a wife and everything like that, I wanted the ancestors to help me to tap into that would make the relationship and home and everything better.
Speaking of elders and ancestors and family, when you marry, you have to understand it's just not two people coming together. It's actually your clans, your tribes coming together. You really got to know whose family and what you're bringing into, to mix with your family. We were both lucky to have solid parents and good uncles and aunts and brothers and sisters, and so the combination of our families was very positive, and everybody got along, and it was a lot of love there, and which creates support for us. Mm-hmm. So it made it a lot easier as a young couple because we had people who were behind us and supported us, and let us know if they saw us doing something stupid, they would tell us. So make sure when you're picking your mate that, remember, it's not only that one person you're bringing in, but with them and their family. What else? I'll go back. Another thing that made me fall in love with Linda here, with Alonda, was when we first met. I was about to become a father, So I was basically ending a relationship with another young lady and starting one with her. And it took a lot of trust and support from her to support me, and when my daughter got here, support her. And I remember watching her and my daughter when she would be in our presence, that she treated her like her own. So I knew that she was somebody who, you know, I knew that my daughter was safe with her and would be loved by her. Another thing that, you know, that something that was said, and she told me, and this wasn't too long ago, and she said that that she had always felt safe with me. Even when we were dating back in college, she said she has always felt safe with me, and that really hit me, because, you know, that's one of the things that as a man, especially a black man, that I want to do. I want to make my family always feel safe and secure. So to hear her say that to me really was a plus, and you know, let me know that I was doing my job. Well, in short, that's our 50 years, and we plan on doing about 50 more. We hope you get something out of it. I hope we said something that hits somebody in a way that's helpful or positive. So at this time we're going to say goodbye, but before we go, I want to do a shout out to my oldest son, Craig Digger, for doing the taping. And, you know, you see the lighting and everything's looking good, got us looking good. So I'm going to say thank you to him, and you know, and peace to you.
And I just want to say, if any of you have any questions that you have for us, just you know, ask Elode how to get in touch with us.
Call her.
We'll be more than happy to answer your questions. No doubt.